What we're here to talk about today is the fact that the brain is and will be the 21st century battlescape in many ways. End of story. You will encounter some form of neurocognitive science that has been weaponized not only in your military career, but in your personal and professional lives. It is valid, valuable, and already in operational play. The brain is the current and future battle space. What's new about this is the in-close nature of this. Increasingly, we're not seeing these things as weapons of mass destruction against gross aspects of the population. More specifically, perhaps, might be targeting individuals on a level that allows either direct attribution or covert engagement with non-attribution. If we talk about what brain science is, let me just give you a little bit of brief background on this field that is now called neuroscience. As a titular field, as a named field, neuroscience has only been in existence for 40 years. I know that because I've been a neuroscientist for about 38 of those 40 years. Increasingly, it is becoming an international, multinational, global, and independently exercised event and endeavor, which increases the capability of the brain sciences to develop not only new theories, but ever more sophisticated tools. So, how then can we use these elements as weapons, means of contending against others? Formal definition of a weapon, probably the one that you've heard about most recently, most contemporaneously in the literature, is the possibility to use some form of directed energy to affect physiology peripherally and also to affect the physiology and health of the brain. Case in point here, US Embassy personnel in Havana and possibly in China. Clearly, one of the things we can also do is transcranial neuromodulation, the idea of going through the skull to modulate the node and network activity of the brain, to implant certain brain-machine interfaces. These are many of the DARPA programs that you may hear of now. Probably the one that is most notorious is something called the N3 program, which is the non-invasive neurosurgical neuromodulation program being run by their program manager, Dr. Al-Mundi. The idea here is to put minimal-sized electrodes in a network within a brain through only minimal intervention to be able to read and write into the brain function in real time, remotely. And then, of course, you also have the things that are a little bit more traditional. If we talk about things that can be operable in the biochemical space, we ordinarily talk about drugs, bugs, toxins, and ever more, we're considering devices. I can disrupt an individual from the level of their cell to their system, and disrupt individuals on a variety of levels, from individuals all the way up to the social fabric. Target a specific individual, change or eliminate that individual with very little attribution and trace, and be able to leave prior to any attribution. Drugs can be exceedingly specific, and as I'll show you in a moment, can be very, very much used to individualize weaponology in terms of what we call precision pathology or precision effect. And by affecting the way that brain is built and the way it functions, influence in ways that are kinetic and non-kinetic. The attitudes, beliefs, thoughts, emotions, activities. Look at the power that understanding tools and techniques of the brain sciences afford. We also see the use of biodata as a viable weapon. Manipulating biodata so that I can then put into your particular medical records subtle information that may change the disposition of whether you're sick or not, change how you're treated, influence the postures that go to you in terms of insurance, care, viability for military service. By altering that information, by changing those data, by purloining those data, I essentially change the you of you. And I can do that in very subtle and insidious ways. Furthermore, I can do that on a variety of different levels that can affect key individuals so that in fact your medical record changes to thereby render you incapable or at least invalid to be able to serve in a way you're serving. Or I can do that on a much larger scale, groups, populations. And if I change those data, I change the way you're being regarded and treated. And I can do that in one of two ways. I can do it in such a way that you're going to be regarded in a negative sense, or I can do that in such a way that I'm going to treat you incorrectly. If I say, for example, you have a particular allergy or you have a particular disorder, you will be treated for that, and that could then harm your health and your stability in both a short wars approach as well as a long wars approach. One of the newest developments is that nanoparticulate matter can be stabilized for distribution. If you're not aware of what nanoparticulate matter is, it's that matter which exists on a scale of 1 × 10⁹. Very, very small. Smaller than a cell. And we can manufacture materials that have discrete properties that can be controlled by virtue of bioengineering and their physical chemistry. I can create small robotic units, controllable robotic units at the nanoscale, and that these too can be aerosolized to create a nanoswarm of biopenetrable materials that you cannot see, that can penetrate all but the most robust biochemical filters, that are able to integrate themselves through a variety of membranes, mucous membranes, and wherever, mouth, nose, ears, eyes, can be then uptaken into the vascular system to create clumping, can affect the vascular system of the brain, or can directly diffuse into the brain space, and these can be weaponized. And they can be done in such a level that their presence is almost impossible to detect, and as such, the attribution becomes exceedingly difficult to demonstrate. We've come to the precarious position of opening the proverbial can of worms of if, how, in what ways, to what extent, and when these techniques and technologies will be used in weaponized intelligence and national security agenda. Are civilian ethics even viable any longer? And if we engage military ethics, what military ethical principles will we engage?
An estimated 10,000 people around the world are all reporting the exact same terrifying experience.
Electronic harassment, synthetic telepathy, voice-to-skull technology. Chances are you haven't heard of these terms, but after searching the internet, I found dozens of websites dedicated to the phenomenon, residents who say they're victims.
We are TIs, targeted individuals.
They say they're being monitored, manipulated, and even tortured.
This is not a joke. This is not science fiction.
Because people know nothing about mind control. They don't know that your thoughts can be changed.
Through the internet, they've validated each other's experiences, and a community has formed.
We're not having a group hallucination. This is actually something that's happening.
They call themselves targeted individuals.
This is a death camp. This is a concentration camp.
I will expose you one day. I don't care who you are or who you think you are or who you're connected to.
People don't even realize. People will never realize until it's too late.
Day one, take one. I'm standing here today because the person who should be standing here has been murdered. Max Spears was part of a program of extremely secret enhanced human beings. This involves involuntary use of implants, and we have another gentleman here in this room called Kieran Lee Perrin. Kieran Lee Perrin is part of the British Targeted Individuals program. He's got implants inside his head. These are things you can actually see and measure. Lots and lots and lots of people now have these implants in their head. But if we do not engage this problem, we as humans are finished.
Max Spears had died just a few weeks before the conference, and that created a ripple of anxiety throughout the community.
And I just made that up myself.
You did?
Yeah, that's right.
You said it before when we were speaking on the phone, that the truth movement is gaining ground, and you've seen that, and that inspired you to hopefully get back involved again, I hope, Dave. If a TI on his own as an individual approaches authority, they're easy to dismiss, but if there's multiples of them, it's a lot more difficult.
At this stage, we've heard a lot of talk about what a targeted individual is. I mean, everyone's heard someone make a string of unbelievable statements like that, but when you hear that person say it, and then you look around and you're in a room with 60 other people all nodding in agreement, that is a weird feeling. Miles Johnston, the head of the conference, broadcasts videos about targeting to millions of viewers worldwide.
Hello, hey, and welcome. This is my little studio. The whole point about this place is to, when I interview people, not have a whole lot of tripods and cables and things. So I decided to put this thing up here, which is pretty solid. I'm also an archiver, so I have a lot of stuff on audio reel. So we'll, but this is just only a laptop, and there's our TV studio.
Do you think that so many people would think that they were targeted if they hadn't seen your stuff through the internet?
Remember, these are people who have had very strange experiences in their lives. The proof is now coming through with MRI scans. That's physical, tangible results and evidence.
How many views do your videos get?
I think I'm 13 million or something.
So what are you setting up for now?
I'm setting up to do a quick fast blast based on the latest information I've got about Max. A lot of the people I've interviewed in bases over the last 20 years, very terrible things have subsequently happened to them because what they're talking about is real, it's dangerous, people's lives are affected, and people die in this thing.
Max was a major figure in the targeted community, and he was recently found dead in a villa in Warsaw. He was 39 and had no known health conditions, but a Polish doctor pronounced him dead of natural causes. But the targeted individual community believed that because of what he knew, Max was assassinated.
Deaf as a bloody lamppost.
Miles took it upon himself to keep everyone informed about the ongoing investigation.
There's a major problem as to the time of death of Max Spears. Max's mother feels that she's been stonewalled and effectively blocked from really finding out what happened to Max. Gone but not forgotten.
Another well-known target Miles has interviewed regularly is Kieran Lee Perrin.
Hey, Kieran. Nice to see you guys. How's it going?
Yeah, good, you?
Good to see you too. Hey, how's it going? Will you take them for a walk?
Yeah, they're due. If someone's being targeted, if they possibly can, is to get a dog or something like that. It enables you to maintain routine.
So are you yourself a targeted individual?
Oh, yes.
What does that mean?
Well, it's a very broad statement these days. Some people that I'm dealing with, they deal with gang stalking predominantly, manipulation of their lives by others. The ones at the more extreme end, like myself, we're dealing with technological manipulation, which is V2K, voice-to-skull technology.
Wow, okay.
So I can be communicated with in my head.
What does that feel like? Are you hearing voices inside your head?
Yeah, sometimes it's like that. It's literally a loud voice. I mean, it's in some scientific journals described as the voice of God technology.
So what's on this USB?
Several frames of the MRI scans I had done from 2 machines.
So this is your brain?
Yeah.
And what are we looking at?
The implants here. The ICT implants here. In the red boxes, essentially, and that's them blown up.
Have you had a doctor look at these?
Oh, yeah. My dentist, who's PhD level educated, he just said, look, you don't need any medical training whatsoever to see that these are foreign bodies. So
okay.
That's the real game changer, that probe. And you can see the fragments of another one which has been broken.
And have you ruled out every other possibility before thinking that they might be implants?
Oh, absolutely. I've used all this stuff in defending myself in official situations. The reports I've got on both MRI scans say there are no abnormalities showing. They were trying to discredit me, saying that I needed psychiatric treatment, and they were covering it up.
What's this?
Now, this is to show you the implant that was removed.
Is this something that's come from a targeted individual's body?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So, did the targeting stop when he got this chunk of flesh removed?
No.
Do you have any plans to get your implants removed?
I've been trying. Look at the top of my back, by the way. Can you see it?
What are we looking for?
These lumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had to operate on that on myself and my ear as well. Doctors refused to operate on me, so I did it in my bathroom with scalpels and 2 mirrors.
Sounds pretty dangerous.
Well, I got a piece of wood, put it between my teeth, and I sliced them off. But take this on board. Look at my mouth. Can you see on this one? There's a round cylindrical thing, and he said, "Look, that is totally unnatural. A drill does not make round cylindrical things. It looks to me as though you've got something under that filling." Which, again, is quite possibly a microphone.
So how else do you sort of show people that these implants are real?
Well, my doctor, for instance, as I mentioned earlier, I allowed him to palpate them with his fingers at the back of my mouth. I could have you do it now.
Yeah, sure.
Like that. Do it like that.
Okay, in the name of journalism. I'm not...
hang on. You need to press the gum.
Okay. So both fingers at the same time? Okay.
Good thinking. Let's try one.
Let's do one at a time. I'm not feeling anything. Yeah, it's something. There's something hard in there.
Try again.
I feel something there, definitely.
Press hard.
Okay. I don't want to hurt you.
Right.
That right there. That thing right there.
Yeah. That's an implant. I will go to a surgeon and be opened up, but I need a surgeon. I'm not going to let a car mechanic, start opening me up.
Has there ever been a moment where you thought maybe this isn't real?
What do you mean?
Like, has there ever been a moment where you thought that you believed the people who said, this isn't true, I don't believe you?
Well, I don't have that problem now.
Why not?
Because everybody believes me.
Is that because you found a community of people who are also targeted? That you've found a group of people who believe you?
No, it's because of the scams. I wish I was mad. I wish I had a mental illness. I do. I wish I was psychotic. I wish I was bipolar. I wish I was anything, because I could get treatment for that. For this, I can't.
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.